Welcome to News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery.
Welcome to our program today. I'm Johnny Lou Avery, and my guest today is Tammy O'Bannon, and we are continuing our series of programs about the Commemorative Air Force. As I told you last week, we've done 3 programs, and this is too big a complex of activities and facilities and services that we can tell it in even 1 or 2 or 3. So this will end our series of programs now, but we'll have other things later on. But I asked Tammy to come and talk about specifically the museum, the Our Power Museum. And many of you have been to the museum, but it's something you need to come regularly. And every time you have a guest come to visit you in Midland or Odessa or the Permian Basin, you need to bring them here because there's constant new things there. And when we're talking about the museum, we're talking about, again, more than just a little box with some things in it. It has so much more to offer. So, Tammy, thank you so much for coming today.
Well, thank you for having me.
You've been with the CAF for a long, long time, even before it came here. Is that right? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yes, ma'am. I actually did get transferred with the job when the museum moved from the Rio Grande Valley in South Texas to Midland, Odessa. They moved me with it, and it was a wonderful opportunity to be able to work with architects and building constructors and the board and the staff and the excited volunteers, and we just put everything together, and look what we have today, a jewel in the desert.
And you absolutely started from nothing, and it's just grown up to be the most beautiful, functional, effective, efficient complex of buildings. From the little chapel that's shaped like a stealth plane all the way to the beautiful museum and the facilities that people can rent and have events in and walk among the planes. It's just wonderful. Well, let's start out and you just tell me everything that we all need to know about the Our Power Museum.
Well, the Air Power Museum was actually created as the educational affiliate to the Commemorative Air Force back in 1989. That's when they designated all the non-flying assets, if you will, the more conventional museum artifacts and archives, under the care of a separate board and staff, and said, build us a museum. And about a year after that, once we got our mission statement and all of our policy documents straightened out and finalized, we had an opportunity to move. And actually, like you said before, the museum started from zero. That's a blessing in disguise.
I know.
Because you don't have to undo anything. It was not a renovation project. We moved about 1 million artifacts and archives all together and built a museum to tell one story and tell it very well. And the story is this: to keep people free by telling stories of air power. And as Shannon Lovett, our programs coordinator for the museum, explained earlier, we bring all of what we preserve to life through the exhibits and the educational programs, the traveling trunk kits that go to people who can't visit the museum.
And so the oral histories. And
this air show of 2009 just opened a fabulous new research library. We have closed stacks that you can make an appointment to peek into. We have a wonderful corporate archive on the history of the CAF, which is a whole nother story in and of itself. And
which we had a little bit of in our first program.
Yes,
history.
Absolutely. Steve, I'm sure, went well into the history of this exciting organization. And but we have a research library. We have over 20,000 square feet of interpretive exhibits.
And people come from all over the world.
People come all over the world.
To research.
Right, right. And, you know, what we bring to our campus is really a self-guided tour. It's very hands-on. You crawl through things and sit in things. And, you know,
And you're
I think-
simulating being in an airplane.
Yeah.
And all kinds of neat things.
I don't know about you, but I grew up with a family who brought me to museums and told me to keep my hands in my pockets, not
Right,
touch anything.
absolutely.
Well, we've got just the opposite philosophy. We
It's an
encourage you.
interactive, really interactive.
Yeah, let's jump in, have fun, and you accidentally learn by osmosis. That's the beauty of the
But,
museum
you know,
work.
one of the things I love about it is you almost use every sense as you go through it. Your touch, your sight, your hearing, because you hear these things that are going on with the airplanes, and you just almost have every sense involved.
Right, right. Yeah, some of my best friends are classroom teachers. And we always have this debate, who has the better job, me or you? And I feel like I can be pretty persuasive, because when you work in a museum, you get the classroom and a whole lot more. You get to take a field trip on your own campus. There's no Chinese proverb that sums up what you just said very well about museum experiences being multisensory. It goes like this: tell me about it and I'll forget. Show me and I may understand, but involve me, my whole being, involve me in an experience, and I'll remember.
And it'll become part of me.
That's right. That's right.
It's
and you
wonderful.
know, so our museum is all about not taking for granted the freedoms that our forefathers spilt blood to preserve for us. And actually, another good quote here is from Karl Marx. He said, "You can control a people if you erase their history."
Yes, absolutely.
You know, it's not going to happen as long as the CAF's here.
And that's what it's about, preserving it, but making it so much fun when you go back and dig through it. And one of the things that I love about it is the beautiful art work that's in it, that's all these beautiful scenes of planes.
Yeah, it's this museum, the CAF, as a phenomenon in the museum community, because I've seen a lot of museums in 25 years, and I love it so much because it brings more to the table than just a hangar full of airplanes. This is a mission with a heart that beats to the tune of a gaggle of American patriots who want to forever tell the stories of what the airplane did during World War II. Did you know World War II began and ended with the airplane?
Yes, I love the World War II story. We're going to have to take a break right now, but we'll be right back and finish this story.
Stay tuned. West Texas View will be right back.